So to add to this game, you may have a racing game where you've got to beat the clock, or you could have a race around adventure game where you've got to collect items before you beat the clock. And what happens is when the countdown ends, it's going to load up another scene that says you lose, or it could say buy the full version or anything like that. So what I have got is I've got my game scene, and I've also created an empty scene. So this empty scene here is just called lose, but you could have anything on here. You could have a canvas with you lose, you could have a canvas with words, or you could have anything along those lines. So back to my game scene, what I've also done in my build settings is that I've got my game here as 0 and my lose as 1. You may have your main menu at the start as well, so just be mindful of whatever number is next to this scene here. Okay, so that might be 1 or that might be 2 for you. Just be mindful of that because we're going to call upon that scene. The first thing we're going to do is create our JavaScript, and we're going to call this timer. We're going to open up our timer in either Visual Studio or MonoDevelop and delete off any script that comes up initially. I sent you an email with the correct timer script because I had mucked up my greater than and less than as always, so I've just changed them to be the correct for you. So I'm just going to copy the script and I'm going to paste it into Visual Studio and I'm going to save it. Alright, what I want to do is in my game here, I'll just delete this off because I'll show you from the start. I'm going to, in my hierarchy, create an empty game object. I'm going to name this timer just so I know what it is. And I'm simply going to drop and drag my timer script onto the timer. As you can see, the timer has been added. Now the current timer here is set at 150. Now because I want to show you this quickly, I'm actually just going to change that to 10 to show you that it's going to load up that after the countdown finishes. You can change that time to whatever time you would like. So then if I hit play, you'll see I have a timer just in the top corner here. I can play my game as I like, collect my objects, my score increases, and when my timer runs out, it loads up my lose screen. So that's going to be really important if you're doing a car racing game, race against the clock. If you're doing a survival collection game or anything like that, you've got that timer countdown, so it makes it more exciting for the user. Just make sure in your script the application load level is to whatever the scene number that you want it to load. So if you've got a main menu there, it might not be 1, it might be 2 or 3. Just make sure you check in your build settings as to what scene number you want it to load.